What if the company signed a non-cancellable contract? So let's assume the same facts in the example, same facts here, but with one change, that the contract is non-cancellable. Now, in 31st of Jan, the company should expected the customer to pay, but actually the customer didn't pay on 31st of Jan, but the customer paid on 1st of March. So we need to consider receivables on 31st of Jan. Why? Because the contract is non-cancellable. So we need to consider receivables on this date. So we are going to say, okay, in 31st of Jan, we need to consider receivables. So we are going to say contract receivables with 1,000. And these will be a contract liability in the same time. Why? Because I recognize receivables. Most people expect to see revenue in the credit, but actually I didn't deliver the performance obligation to the customer and I cannot recognize revenue. So I have to recognize contract liability. So if you would like to think in the impact on the financial statements, in the balance sheet or in the statement financial position, you see current receivables and the current liability. I recognize contract receivables and I am going to recognize contract liability. So it will be the same impact on the balance sheet, okay? But in the P&L, I didn't recognize any impact so far in the income statement, okay? So I'm going to say contract liability with the same value, which is 1,000. Okay, now let's go to the 1st of March. The customer is going to pay me the value of the contract on the 1st of March and already paid it. So I'm going to receive cash. So I'm going to receive cash and the cash will be debit with the same value, 1,000. Now let's come to the credit. Now you recognize in the first entry contract receivables and the customer paid you now. So you need to close this contract receivable. So it will be credit. So I'm going to say contract receivable. So I'm going to say 1,000. I received the cash. So I'm going to close the receivables. And in 31st of March, what happened? The company delivered the product to the customer. So in this case, the company transferred the control to the customer on this product. And in this case, the company must recognize revenue. So the company is going to record in the credit revenue. And in this date also, the company must close the contract liability that it had recognized before in the first entry. So remember, in the first entry, we recorded contract liability. So we need to close this contract liability now because the company performed delivered the performance obligations and the company doesn't have any obligation in this contract anymore. So the company must close this contract liability. So it will be in the same value, 1,000, and it will be 1,000. So in this tutorial, I explained the contract under IFRS 15 can be two types, cancelable contract and non-cancelable contract. So in this tutorial, we explained the accounting entries on example, when the contract is cancelable and when the contract is non-cancelable. I hope this video is helpful for you. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.